Hi, my name's Lydia, and this is what I've learned in modules 8 through 14. To start off, module 8 focused on app development, developmental roles, reasons for development, vendor proposal types, the software developmental lifecycle, programming languages, and programming tools were included in this module. Developmental roles. To start off, we have a programmer, which is the person who creates app code, a project team, which is the users, the system analysts, and other IT professionals that work on the project beginning to end out. We have the project manager, which coordinates project's components, a designer who develops the program's user interface, a programmer who creates the program's specifications, a tester who reviews aspects and functionality of a program, and a system analyst who is going to design and develop an information system. Next, there's two main reasons for development. One, to fix a problem, and two, to improve the information system. We also discuss different vendor proposal types: request for quotation, request for proposal, request for information, and value-added reseller. Next, the software development lifecycle. This is a set of activities used to build a program. There are many different phases in the SDLC. These include the planning phase, the analysis phase, the design phase, the implementation phase, and the support and security phase. We also have different types of programming language. We have first generation languages, which are low level, second generation languages, third generation languages, which are high level, fourth generation languages, and fifth generation languages. We also have many programming tools. This includes source code editor, debuggers, compiler, interpreter, integrated development environment, and code repositories. On to module 9, web development. This module talked about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, websites, managing websites, and building websites from code. Starting off with HTML, this stands for Hypertext Markup Language. This is a collection of tags to specify the content within a web page. Tags are simply just codes. Moving on to CSS, Cascading Style Sheets. These are used to specify the format and appearance of content on a web page. It's going to specify color, position, alignment, font, background images, all of that. Next, we have JavaScript. This is a language for writing scripts that run in your browser to control a web page's behavior. It's very popular for writing client-side scripts, which are scripts that run in your browser to control a web page's behavior. Now let's talk about websites. First, we have a web address or URL. This is a unique address on the internet where a web page resides. Then we have two types of websites, static websites and dynamic websites. Static websites provide content that is unlikely to change. However, dynamic websites provide content that is going to change. Static websites are inexpensive and perfect for small companies, while dynamic websites are coded using scripted language and run server-side scripts. Let's talk about managing websites. We have website analytics. These are sets of measurements that help you understand how people use a specific website. It's going to track the organization, performance, traffic sources, and site design. An example of this is Clicky. Talk about how to build websites from code. Learning to code can give you a finer control on how content appears, so it can be very helpful. Here are some steps on how to code and publish a website. You're going to arrange and configure the web hosting, design the website, create graphing and multimedia, code each page, preview the website, publish the website files, lastly, display the published version. Next, module 10. This one was on networking. Talked about the elements of a network, categorizing networks, network design, types of networks, network standards and protocol, and how to secure a network. Starting off with elements of a network, we have nodes, which are devices on a network. We have a network switch, which is a device that connects two or more computers to a network. We have a router, which is a device that connects two or more networks and directs and routes the flow of information. And we have home routers, which are just routers at home. Moving on to how to categorize networks. They're categorized by size and type, with two big main categories: home networks and business networks. Home networks are single structure and easy to install and configure. Business networks can be small or large and can exist in one or more multiple buildings. Next, we have network design. So we have network topology. This is the physical arrangement of computers and devices on a network. We also have network architecture, which is the logical design of all devices on a network. Then we have geographical reach. Moving on to types of networks, we have wired networks and wireless networks. Wired networks send signals and data through cables. Wireless sends signals through airwaves. We also have intranet, extranet, and a virtual private network. Moving on to network standards and protocol. Network standards specify the way computers access a network, the types of hardware used, data transmission speeds, and the types of cables and wireless technology used. The most common standard for wired networks are Ethernet. Next, protocol. It's a common set of rules for exchanging information. Moving on, we have how to secure network. You can do it through many different ways: authentication, firewall, network attached storage devices, encryption, MAC address, many different options. Right, we have Module 11, which is digital communication. This module focused on the types of digital communication, online reputation, social shopping networks, internet-based networks, sharing economy networks, crowdsourcing, and disinformation. So to start off, digital communication is the transmittal of data, instructions, and information from one device to another, often via the internet. There are many different types of digital communication: email, wikis, podcasts, video calls, webinars, so many different types. An online reputation. It's information about you that others can find on the internet. Be very careful of what you post because that is what your online reputation is. Employers may look at this too. Social shopping networks. These bring people together interested in buying similar kinds of products. Example, Etsy. Internet-based networks. These are targeted to a particular audience and subject. And lastly, sharing economy networks. People rent out things that they own. Airbnb and Outdoorsy are two examples. Now we have crowdsourcing. This is going to use the internet and the intelligence of the crowd to accomplish a task or solve a problem. Crowdsourcing is very helpful, and another very helpful thing with it is crowdfunding. Individuals come together on the internet to provide funding and support for each other during this time. Next, we have disinformation. This is intentionally released inaccurate information meant to harm the reputation of others. It's actually very common in politics. Now we've reached Module 12, Digital Transformation. This module talked about digital transformation, cloud computing, cloud modules, e-commerce, jobs in e-commerce, and virtual reality, robotics, and AI. Digital transformation. It's the integration of digital technologies into business activities, organizational cultures, and customer experiences. It's enabled by emerging technologies like cloud computing, e-commerce, VR, and AI. Cloud computing. This is going to provide and use technology tools via the internet. We have the public cloud and the private cloud. The public cloud is where multiple customers use the same internet connected that runs on hardware owned by a cloud service provider. This is most widespread used. And then we have the private cloud. This is where you use your own hardware and does not use the internet. Many different cloud models as well. We have software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Software as a service is used by users, platform as a service is used by application developers, and infrastructure as a service is used by network architects. Moving on to e-commerce. There are different types of transactions: business to consumer, consumer to consumer, business to business. There are also many different types of platforms: online storefronts, online marketplaces, and social media. There are also many different jobs in e-commerce: customer service representatives, hand pickers and packagers, general operation managers, so many different opportunities in this field. Now we have virtual reality and robotics. Virtual reality, VR, is the use of computers to simulate a real or imagined environment that appears in a 3D space. There's augmented reality in this as well. Robotics is the science that combines engineering and technology to create and program robots. AI. Here are some different terms that are associated with AI: chatbot, digital assistant, and wake word. Moving on to Module 3, databases. This module focused on relational databases, non-relational databases, benefits of cloud-based database services, primary keys and indexes, table relationships, front-end and back-end database components, and big data. Starting off with relational databases. These rely on relationships between types of data to show how some data is related to the other data. It's best suited that the data can be organized into tables where each record in a table stores the same piece of information. This is really good for bank transactions, and it's measured by the ACID model. Moving on to non-relational databases. These solve many of the weaknesses of relational databases. They're good for social media posts and can be distributed across multiple servers. These are measured by the base model. There's so many benefits of cloud-based database services: significant cost saving, increased scalability, reduced latency, increased security, faster recovery, all are benefits. Keys and indexes. A primary key, or a unique identifier, is a numeric field that contains a unique number of some kind. This is what creates an index. An index is a database object that is created based on a field or combination of fields. We also talked about table relationships. There are three most common table relationships: one-to-many relationships, one-to-one relationships, and many-to-many relationships. Next, let's talk about front-end and back-end database components. Database front-end is when you interact with your social media account of a website. This is user-friendly and requires little to no understanding of the database's underlying structure, relationships, and format. Moving to database backend, database designers and administrators interact with this. It's going to hold information, and specially trained database administrators work with the backend components. And to finish off this module, we've discussed big data. This is large and complex data sources. It's identified by the 3 V's: volume, variety, and velocity. Moving on to our last module, Module 14, Digital Ethics and Lifestyle. This module covered digital literacy, digital citizenship, information accuracy, accessible content, and healthy digital lifestyle. Digital literacy is having a current knowledge and understanding of technology and an ability to use it combined with an awareness of commonly used technology. You can be digitally literate without being a responsible digital citizen. And digital citizenship is the ethical, legal, and productive use of technology. It guides you how to access, communicate, and shop with technology. Next, let's talk about information accuracy. This goes beyond reporting falsehoods. Inaccurate information can result in damaging effects, so it's so important to make sure your information is accurate. Inaccurate information can cause deception. Some deceptions include catfishing, deepfake, and deceptive design or dark patterns. Next, accessible content. Digital inclusion is the movement to ensure that all users have access to the devices, data, and infrastructure required to receive high-speed, accurate, reliable information. Some devices to do this include screen readers, assisted listening devices, alternate keyboard, and pointing devices. Lastly, let's talk about a healthy digital lifestyle. You always want to make sure that technology is making your life better. Here are some things to make sure that you're getting those positive effects from technology. Take hourly breaks, correct your posture, don't walk and text, turn off devices at least an hour before bedtime, use social media moderately, and keep privacy. A digital detox can be very beneficial too. This is a period during which an individual refrains from using technology. Alright, thank you so much for watching and listening to what I've learned in modules 8 through 14. All the information on my slideshows are from your slideshows from class and Cengage. Again, thank you.